Welcome back. It's Spooky Haunts here, and I am here with another unboxing video, and I am super excited to finally do this video here tonight on my Spooky Haunts channel. So it's been about a week. I'm a little bit late doing this video, but I'm super excited to finally do it and start playing after this unboxing video here tonight. And I'm going to be unboxing the new Nintendo Switch 2, or should I say, the new Spooky Switch 2. So I have a few accessories with me right now. I'm going to actually, two of them I'm going to leave in the box for now. And then the other ones I'm just going to show you. And then I'm going to get to the Spooky Switch 2 very last. So all this was from Target. If you actually did see the earlier video I did, it was yesterday. I just uploaded it on my channel if you have checked it out. It was the unboxing of the Switch 2 Pro Controller, which I have right there. It is fully charged on my shelf and ready to be used on my Switch 2. And I also have the Switch 2 camera on my shelf as well, which I didn't do an unboxing video of that. I actually ended up just putting that on my shelf for the moment. So you won't be seeing the Switch 2 camera on this video. But I do have other things from Target. Like I said, my Switch 2 camera and my Switch 2 charging grip is also on my TV as in right now, displayed. But I do have all this stuff from Target. I've had these pre-ordered. I wasn't able to get a Switch 2 on pre-order just because I tried the online site of Target. But we will get to that story in just a few moments. So I did do the accessories first. So I definitely had to make sure that I got this first because this is definitely a requirement. Even though the Switch 2 has a 256 gigabyte of storage, this is always good to have. So I did pick up a 256 micro SD express card, which is only available on the Switch 2. You cannot use the original micro SD. It will not work on the Switch 2. It only would work on the old Switch and the Switch OLED, which, by the way, I still have my Switch and Switch OLED. I have my Switch OLED in here, and my original Switch is in the other room, and I also have my Switch Lite in the case as well. So this is my fourth Switch, but this is only available for Switch 2. So be mindful if you are going to be picking up a micro SD, make sure you get the Express, because that is just exclusively for Switch 2. So this is a 256 gigabyte, and I did have this pre-ordered at Target. I'm not going to unbox it just because I'm not going to use it right away on my Switch 2. But I do like how they do put the Switch 2 logo on top, telling you that it's for the Switch 2. And you do have Mario in the back there, as you can see. I think I paid $50 for this, so it is a little bit on the pricey side. I did know that the micro SDs weren't that much money at the time, but since everything is going up on price, I think the Express cards are a little bit more money. So I think it was like 50 or 60 altogether for a 256 gigabyte of storage on the card, which that will add another 256 with the Switch 2. So altogether, you're looking about 500 gigs in total. But I'm not going to use this yet until I get full on my Switch 2, so we're going to put that to the side. But like I said, this is a recommendation. I definitely suggest picking it up because you will run out of space at some point. I also pre-ordered this as well, and this is also a must-have. This is the official Nintendo Switch 2 travel carrying case. I also pre-ordered this from Target. This actually arrived. This was very easy to pre-order. I did it on the site the day that the Switch 2 was available for pre-order, and I had no problem adding it to my cart. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to open this right now because I'm not going to use it right now, but I will open it over time. But I won't be doing a video of it. I just will open up separately at my own time. But this is the official Nintendo Switch 2 travel case. And it also comes with a film screen protector as well, which I don't like the film ones. I'm not even going to use it once I open this. But it is cool that they do include a screen protector with it, like they always do. And as you can see, it's got the Nintendo Switch 2 logo in the middle. So this is the official Switch 2 travel case, which you can actually buy Switch 2 cases anywhere. You don't have to buy the official Nintendo one, because you are going to be paying a little bit more for the Nintendo one just because it has their logo on it. I think this in total, I think I paid about $50. No, excuse me. It was $40 for this, which is really, really crazy because I remember getting the Switch 2 OLED case on launch when it first came out, and I think the case was only like $25. So it's crazy how this is like $20 more. But like I said, the Switch 2 accessories are getting a little bit more expensive due to inflation. So this is a $40 case, which is pretty crazy. But I definitely have to get this with my Target gift card so just in case I want to travel with it and play in handheld mode. You should have a case for your Switch 2 at all times, because how are you going to store the Switch 2 without a case? And also, too, the Switch 2 won't fit in my old Switch cases because it's bigger. So you definitely have to buy a new case with the Switch 2 because it won't fit with the older ones. So I'm super excited I ended up grabbing this. And also, too, by the way, it's also sold out on Target's website. So it seems like that these are really hard to find. The last time I checked, they did not have them available. So I'm glad that I pre-ordered this when I did. I don't know if they're going to restock on those, or maybe Best Buy might have it. So you don't have to try just Target. You can also try other sites as well. And I also picked up this as well, which is a big box. This is the Switch 2 all-in-one carrying case. So this is more like if you're bringing this on a travel and you want to bring your actual Switch 2 with you, with the dock and the tablet. This actually fits everything in it. I'm not going to unbox it because we're not here on that video to do it. But I also pre-ordered this from Target as well with the gift card that I had. This was, I believe, $80. So this is a little bit, either $80 or $90 I paid, which is a little bit on the pricey side once again. But this is an all-in-one case, so I could see why the price is a little bit expensive, just because you're fitting your whole Switch 2 inside this travel case. So I also think that this is also good to have as well. And then as you can see, it shows you the compartments on what to do to fit your Switch 2 dock in it. So I definitely have to get this the moment I saw it available for pre-order on Target's website. I had to get it. I mean, there was no way I was going to pass up the all-in-one Switch 2 carrying case. So I'm super excited that I have these, so my Switch is fully protected when I'm on the go. So put that to the side, and I also think that this is also sold out as well. I also looked on Target's website and on launch day, and I did not see this at all. So it seems like this is a very popular too, and it sold out quickly. All right, so now getting to the other stuff before the main attraction. I picked up some Switch games as well. I've actually had these for quite some time before the Switch 2 got released, but I wanted to pick it up as well. So the first game, obviously this is an old game that we've seen for quite some time. It's been out since 2020, Animal Crossing New Horizons. I picked this up a few months ago before the Switch 2 came out. And this is obviously an old game. It still runs $60. So obviously we know that Nintendo games never go down on price. They always remain $60, even though they're like 4 or 5 years old. But this is definitely a must-have because I don't know if they're going to make a new Animal Crossing game. But yeah, $60 game. I got this at Target, New Horizons for the Switch. Another game I also got is Hello Kitty Island Adventure Deluxe Edition. I also picked this up at Target as well. I think this game was also $60. They have the standard version as well, which I think is $39. So the deluxe version is $60, so it is $30 more because you're getting extras in this game, which I don't exactly know what extras you get. I think you get like extra costumes and stuff like that. The question is it worth the extra $30? I don't know because I haven't played the game yet. It is sealed, but I do want to play this over time on my Switch 2 because it is next generation. So this is Hello Kitty Islands of Adventure. It does look like it's a pretty fun game to play. I heard some pretty mixed reviews about it. So I'm also going to give this game a try on my Switch 2 as well. Another game I also picked up, which is obviously part of the Spooky channel, which I've had, but I wanted to get a sealed copy of it and also play this one. This is Luigi's Mansion 3. This also came out in 2019, so this is a pretty old game, but this is a must-have for the Switch because I love spooky things, so I'm obviously going to enjoy a Luigi's Mansion 3. So this is like a whole new Luigi's Mansion game. Came out in 2019. I picked this up from Target. It's also a sealed copy as well. So I can't wait to also play this on my Switch 2 as well. So that was also $60. I had to get a Luigi's Mansion 3. Obviously, I'm a spooky fan. And also, happy Friday the 13th, everybody, as I'm wearing my Jason Friday the 13th shirt. So happy Friday the 13th as well. And then also another game that I also picked up, which I also have pre-ordered for the Switch 2. It's Super Mario Party Jamboree. It also includes a 3-month of Nintendo individual membership, which the code is inside the case. But I do have the Switch 2 version pre-ordered that's coming out in July, so I don't think I'm even going to open this copy. I bought this a while ago with my gift card, and then 2 weeks later, they announced a Switch 2 edition on the Direct. Now, you can play this on the Switch 2. It's still playable, obviously, because you can play Switch games on your Switch 2. It's backwards compatible. But you have to pay, I think, $10 more, it's $20 more just to get the extras, but I already have it pre-ordered. I did not spend any money on it. It was just the remaining of what was left on my gift card, which that's $79. So I think I'm going to actually leave this game sealed and then just play the Switch 2 edition, which has all the DLCs and stuff like that. So if I knew that ahead of time, I was actually going to return it to Target and get my money back because this game was $60. Haven't played it yet, by the way. But then it was past the return date, and I figured I have the Switch 2 version coming in. I might as well just hold on to this and keep it sealed on my shelf just for a collector's item, I guess. And like I said, you don't have to buy the Switch 2 version. You could play this on the Switch 2 and just buy the extra DLCs, which is like $10 more. But I plan on just leaving that one sealed. And then I have this game digitally because you guys have seen this before when I did my Switch OLED unboxing. This is the digital copy of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. This is not the code. This is just a card. I've showed it before. I just had it in the mix, so I wanted to show it again. But the good news about that is I actually picked up a physical copy of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD from my Target gift card at Target. And I actually have the physical copy of Luigi's Mansion 2 High Definition. I know I have this game digitally on my Switch, but I also wanted to own it physically as well because I love collecting cases and game cards. So I had to get this game physically. I'm probably going to play it physically. Like when I do end up playing it on my Switch 2, which by the way, I haven't beaten this game yet. I'm still in the beginning and then I stop playing. I love it. But by the way, I do love it. This is probably one of my favorite Switch games. But I'm might actually play the physical version of this on my Switch 2, even though I have it and I could just download it. Depending, either I do that or I just leave this game sealed just to say I have a sealed copy of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So it's either I play it in my Switch or I just download it and just leave it in the case sealed on my shelf because I love spooky things and I could add it to my spooky collection, to my horror collection. So I might either play it or just leave it sealed and just download the digital one back on my Switch 2. So I'll figure that out over time. But I definitely have to get a sealed copy of this. And we know that this game is $60. So again, but Target had it and I had to pick it up. So I have the digital copy of Luigi's Mansion 2 and the physical copy. So I'm super excited that I own both physical and digital. All right, so this was the Target card that I used for my Switch 2. And also, I also have an Amiibo that I also picked up as well, because we do know that the Switch 2 has Amiibo capability. And I picked up a Boo Amiibo to add to my collection. I'm actually going to open this. I only have one of them, so it's not like I'm going to leave one in the case and open up the other one. I only have one. This was $15. This is actually pretty old. They actually have had this out for like a couple of years now. And then I managed to actually find this on the Target website. So I managed to actually snag this. This was, I think, $15, which is pretty typical for a price of an Amiibo. I haven't bought an Amiibo in years, and I don't have any. So this is actually the very first Amiibo that I own. This actually does glow in the dark. And then in the back, it just says Amiibo. So they got rid of all the artwork, which is kind of boring because I remember back in the day, you were able to actually see the actual Wii U like case in the back and stuff like that. So they just added plain to it. I'm not going to open it on this on this video, but this does glow in the dark with light. So I'm super excited that I was able to pick this up, and I can also use it on my Switch 2 because the Switch 2 has Amiibo support. So I'm super excited that I get to use the Boo Amiibo on my Switch 2 with the Amiibo support. All right, so now we get to the main attraction of the video. This video is going to run a little bit longer, which is expected. So I am going to put this stuff to the side for just a second. So try to bear with me now, guys, for just a moment as I try to put all this stuff to the side on this video. All right, so now we're going to get to the main attraction of this video, and that is the unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. So just one moment. All right, so let's talk about the Switch 2 before we unbox it. I am super excited. I finally was able to pick up one. Now, Target had this pre-ordered. I did have the Target gift card, and I know I did say on my older videos when I did the unboxing of the Switch OLED that eventually over time I will get the Switch 2. I ended up getting the, I actually ended up getting a Target gift card, and I ended up having like $600 on it for like the longest time. And then the day that a lot of retailers announced that the Switch 2 was being available for pre-order, I went on the site directly as needed on Target's website, and I had it added to my cart. I tried either the Mario Kart bundle or the standard bundle, so I didn't care which either one I got it. I just wanted a Switch 2, and I added it to my cart, and guys, it was a hassle just to get my hands on a Switch 2 pre-order. And then it just officially said that it was sold out. It said a lot of people were trying at the same time, and it was just physically impossible. And then I tried to get the bundle. So this one was sold out. Then I tried to get the bundle, and that one was just completely sold out within 2 seconds. And then I tried this one again, and then this one also sold out as well. So I missed out on the Target pre-orders, and I was pretty bummed out because I ended up pre-ordering all the accessories, and then I'm like, now I have the accessories, but no Switch 2. And then I just waited, and then Target told me that they were going to get extras in on launch. So I ended up waiting on launch day for 5 hours. So I ended up leaving my house at 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing that Target was going to get Switch 2s in. And I got myself a Switch 2 as Target opened up at 8 a.m. And I actually got this Nintendo Switch 2 ticket. So Target was handing out tickets, and I was first of 20. So I was first in line out of 20 people. Since 3 a.m., guys, since 3 a.m., I waited outside. Well, I waited in my car for the Switch 2. And I finally was able to get it. So I'm actually going to hold on to this because this is considered a collector's item for me, just because I waited since early in the morning and I was first out of 20. And they were handing out 2 tickets of the Mario Kart bundle and the standard bundle. And I wasn't sure which one I kind of wanted. A lot of people, most of the people online got the Mario Kart bundle just because you are saving $15 to $20 if you get the bundle. But I actually had the card for the bundle, the ticket, and then I decided I changed my mind and I just wanted the standard one because I picked up a separate copy of Mario Kart World with it. And I know that, this is an $80 game. I understand that. So if you're going to get Mario Kart, obviously the bundle was worth it because you save yourself $15 by buying the bundle. But guys, to be quite honest with you, I know a lot of people also didn't pick up the bundle, so I'm not the only one. I like my games physically, and I feel like this generation for the Switch 2, I kind of want that cool Switch 2 case. So that's one reason why I ended up getting this game separately. And either way, I had about $620 on my Target card, so I had enough for either of them. So whether or not I got the Mario Kart bundle, which was $500, or the standard version, which was $450. So either way, I had enough to get the game separately without paying out of pocket. So I ended up getting Mario Kart World separately at Target. And I know somebody else online also got it separately as well. I know. But I like my games physically, and I feel like I'd rather have the cartridge than getting the download code. I just think I don't like download codes at all whatsoever. I think they're just completely stupid. Because I feel like if you're gonna pay $500 for a system, you might as well, it's better to have a physical copy of the game. That's just how I look at it. I mean, I want to pay $500 for a system. I expect to get a physical copy, not a digital one. So that's the route that I went. I'm just like, can I get the standard one? And the guy's like, yeah. And then he gave me the ticket as I'm first of 20. So it was very tiring. That's why I was a little bit late of doing this video. I kind of wanted to do it that night when I got home, but I was just so physically drained, guys, from waiting online for the Switch 2. Like I said, I left my house at 3 o'clock in the morning that day, and I was physically tired. So I really didn't do the unboxing at all for the Switch 2 that day. But, I was also waiting for my accessories to come in as well, which was the accessories did not arrive the same day. They arrived a week later. So I kind of figured I might as well just, do the unbox it when I get everything in all at once. So yeah, so let's just take a look at Mario Kart World. I can't wait to play this game. The Switch 2 does have that red line on it telling you now that it's a Switch 2. So this is a Switch 2 exclusive, so you cannot play this game on the original Switch, if you're wondering. I still do have my original Switch. I have my original Switch from 2017 launch, which is in the other room. I have my Switch Lite from 2019, which is over there in a case. And I still have my Switch OLED from launch as well, and back from 2021. The white one is also on my shelf as well. So this is my fourth Switch, and I can't wait to finally upgrade to the next generation of the Switch 2. So without any further ado, let's get to the main attraction of the video, and let's unbox the Switch 2. So I'm not actually going to open this, but you guys get the gist of it. This is Mario Kart World, which is going to be the top game. I plan on playing this game so many times. I plan on playing this game for a very long time. So this game will keep me occupied on the Switch 2 for quite some time. I know a lot of people are going to be bumping and grinding on this game. This game is just definitely a Switch 2 exclusive. And I know on launch, the Switch 2 really didn't have a lot of good launch titles. Like, they had a few games. Like, I think Cyberpunk also came out as well. But this is the top game that everybody wanted a Switch 2 for, was Mario Kart World. So I'm super excited. I got a physical copy of it. Yeah, it was an $80 game. But like I said, I like my games physically. And I felt like that was the route that I wanted to go with the Switch 2. So like I said, I wanted the game physically. We're going to put it to the side just to have it on my shelf. Some games I am going to download, so don't think all my games are going to be physical, because a lot of the physical games are $80, so that's crazy expensive this next generation for the Switch. But I wanted to own my first Switch 2 game physically, which is why I got the bundle, which is why I just got the standard Switch 2. But guys, I'm happy I got it. There was a lot of people online. I think there was like 15 or 20 online. Like I said, that ticket said I was first of 20. And everybody got the Mario Kart bundle. I expected more people, and then there was more people lining up at the line as they opened. And then once I walked out with my Switch 2, they were completely sold out. The shelf completely emptied, and they were out of Switch 2s completely. So it looks like it's sold out within that morning. And Target right now is still sold out. I mean, if you're trying to get a Switch 2 right now, every retail store is sold out. So I don't know whether or not stores are going to restock on it. But I'm sure over time they will. But as in right now, they're all sold out of Switch 2. So anyway, let's get to the main attraction. This is the Switch 2. Let's take a look at the box. I mean, I am super excited. I finally got this. I actually put a tempered glass screen protector on it last night. So it is already installed on the screen, which I thought was a lot easier to do instead of doing it later, which I had no issues doing it. And it came out right the first time, which I'm very shocked, because usually I'm not good at doing it. But I do suggest getting a tempered glass screen protector on this, just because now Nintendo is warning people that there is a special film on the screen, just like it was with the OLED, and they're telling people not to peel it off. But that's just the film. I do suggest putting a tempered glass screen protector on this just to play it safe, because the screens are glass and very fragile. And that is, I mean, it is, if you want to, you can. But I definitely suggest doing it. All my Switches have a screen protector on it, so I also want to do the same with the Switch 2. I bought them on Amazon for like $15, so they're pretty cheap. And I think it was a 3-pack. It came with like 3 screen protectors. And I did it right the first time, so I ended up keeping up the rest in a shelf as well. So let's take a look at the box. The box is super small. It kind of looks like the Switch OLED box, which I still have my Switch OLED box in the other room, but I'm not going to show it as a comparison. But the box is super small, so it kind of looks like it's the same size as a Switch OLED box, either smaller or bigger, but I think it's pretty much the same size. And like I said, I ended up going with the standard version. I didn't get the Mario Kart one. The Mario Kart one has the Mario Kart sticker on top, like right about there. But yeah, I just wanted the standard one because I like the standard systems better. Like I said, guys, I like my games physically, so I always end up going with the standard versions on every launch, mostly. So on top it says Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, and then it shows you a picture of the Switch 2 on the main cover, which I can't wait to check out these new magnetic grips, these magnetic Joy-Cons on the Switch 2. And it shows a picture of the TV in the back. It kind of looks like the Switch version 2 box. I think that also had the TV in the back. So it looks like they kind of kept the same design, but just added a different picture of the Switch 2 and just added the Switch 2 on top. It kind of looks like the V2 box of the Switch. And then on the side, it has some person playing it in handheld mode. And it looks like it has this nice vibrant sky on top. So I like what they did with the artwork here. It looks really, really cool. Then on the side here, it shows two people playing it in tabletop mode with the blue and red Joy-Con playing tabletop mode. So the Switch 2 is definitely going to be a lot more powerful. And then in the back, it says Switch 2, and then it shows you the person's hand putting the Switch 2 in the dock. So this is next generation. The Switch is going to be a lot better. It's going to be better graphics than the original Switch. So this is definitely the next generation. So this is definitely Nintendo's next gen console, basically. So people think about it and say, oh, it's just a new Switch. It's just an upgraded Switch. It's not. It's the next Nintendo generation system. It's the next console. And then on the bottom, it has your basic contents. It just says Nintendo Switch 2 console, Joy-Con 2 left, Joy-Con 2 right, Nintendo Switch 2 AC adapter, USB charging cable, Nintendo Switch 2 dock, Joy-Con 2 grip, Joy-Con 2 strap, and ultra high-speed HDMI cable. So it basically tells you what's inside of it. And guys, like I said, I do plan on keeping this box like I do. I have my old Switch boxes as well. So I also plan on keeping this box as well. But yes, I cannot wait to finally check out the Switch 2, guys. Finally, it's here. And we're about to unbox it a week later. So if you're still staying tuned to this video, it's going to go a little bit longer as we reach 27 minutes. But this is the Spooky Haunts channel, and this is what we do. We enjoy ourselves on these unboxings because it's spooky. All right, so without any further ado, let's unbox the Nintendo Switch 2 for the first time. And you guys are going to be joining me. So first thing, you do have the flap like you would expect out of Nintendo. They don't put any tape on it, which I still don't know why they don't do that. And here we go, guys. Let's take a look. First time looking at the Switch 2 in person and owning it. Wow. So right off the bat, here it is. It's got your basic instructions. So it does say plug it in. AC adapter and power outlet configurations may vary outside of USA. So it's got the same packaging as like the Switch OLED and the original Switch. It also says set it up. When attached to the Nintendo Switch 2 console, the Joy-Con 2 controller's batteries will also charge, just like it did with the original and the OLED. To detach a Joy-Con 2 controllers, press the release button on the back of the controller and pull outward gently. So now these Joy-Cons are now magnetic, so it doesn't slide anymore. So this is where it's going to be fun. Press the power button to set the Nintendo Switch 2 system to sleep mode or to wake it up. So basically tells you that information. And it also says AC adapter and power outlet configurations may vary outside of USA. So here we go, guys. We're officially about to unbox the Switch 2. I don't know if I want to be standing up on this video, but I think I'm actually going to be doing it this way. But here we go, guys. Let's take a look at the Switch 2. So right off the bat, this is how they have it packaged. It looks like it's a little bit different compared to the Switch OLED. They kind of put the new Joy-Cons like vertically like that. But let's take a look at the Joy-Cons first. This is the first time I'm holding the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, guys. And I did see the Direct, and I was super excited to check that out. But here they are. So we got the red one and the blue one. So here we go. This is the first time, spooky fans, that I am unboxing the spooky Switch 2. So here we go, guys. Let's unbox it. Oh my God. Now, I do have my old OLED Joy-Cons, which I might do a comparison in just a few moments. But these are definitely a lot larger than the Switch OLED or the original Switch. So I'm actually going to put these in the box just so I like to, you know, package them the way that I saw it. Which I always do that on my unboxings. But let's take a look. I'm actually going to grab the OLED ones for just a moment, and we're going to do a little side comparison in just a moment. All right, so here is the Switch OLED Joy-Cons. I have the grip on them right now. We're going to do a comparison of the size. So this is the Switch OLED in white, and this is the Switch 2. I mean, what a difference. You guys can see a big difference. Obviously, the side buttons are a lot more larger than the OLED. As you can see, you get the two little bumpers there. And then on the Switch 2, they're just a lot bigger. And as I'm actually looking at it right now on the OLED, these side ones are a little bit stiff to press. I don't know if you guys can notice that. But yeah, as you press it, it presses. But then when you press the Switch 2 ones, they're more responsive. So they definitely did a lot better on the Switch 2 ones. So the Switch 2 ones are definitely a lot larger than the OLED, which was expected, obviously. So I just wanted to do a little comparison video of that. But yeah, I am super excited to, first time ever, guys, holding the Switch 2 Joy-Cons for the very first time. So this video went a half an hour. All right, so without any further ado, let's take a look at the actual tablet itself. So here we go, guys. I am first time ever holding the Switch 2 tablet, and I am super excited to check this out. Obviously, the screen is a 7.9 screen, so it's a lot larger than the OLED, which I think the OLED was a 7.1 screen. So this is a 7.9, which is a lot larger. And obviously a lot more larger than the original Switch, which I think was like a 6.9. So this is a larger screen. This is the largest screen on a Switch than any other one that is up to date. And obviously it's a lot larger than the Switch Lite, obviously, which I have my Lite right there, but I'm not going to do a comparison right here. But let's take a look at the tablet. So it does say Nintendo Switch 2 on the back, and you do get the new and improved kickstand. So the kickstand is a lot better this time around. And guys, I'm really excited. I want to check out the magnetic in just a moment. Now remember, the Switch 2 also has mouse control. So you actually use mouse control for the first time when you put it down. We're going to check that out very soon. So we're going to put this to the side and still check it out before we get this going. So we're going to pull this top out right here. And now we got our accessories. So let's take a look at this first. So this is the Switch 2 grip, which it's nothing special, but we're going to take a look at it right here. This kind of looks like the original Switch, except the middle says Switch 2. So I like that there. And also what's cool about this grip that's different from the original is you do have the colors. You do have the colors coordinated on the side. So you do have the red and the blue. So I like that. With the original Switch, it was just black. So it looks like they kind of added a little bit different there. And then also the Switch 2 logo in the middle. So that's a pretty cool grip. So cool to check that out. And then here is the AC adapter for the Switch 2. So I did do an unboxing video of the AC adapter. I did buy a separate one, but this one plugs into the dock. I just did that for like handheld mode. But this one plugs into the dock. So this is a different AC adapter than what was on the original, which was all together. So we are going to take a look at this in just a second. So this is the AC adapter that plugs into the dock. This is one of those triple watt adapters, which you guys have seen these. So this is a little bit new and improved compared to the original. Since the Switch 2 is super powerful, it's going to use this dock. Now, I also do plan on displaying my box on the side. I usually put my boxes away and keep them. But the Switch 2 box, I plan on actually keeping in the side of my room. I found a nice space right there that I'm going to display it in my room. So the Switch 2 box is going to be displayed on the side of my wall with my Wednesday box. So this goes back in the box as well. And now, last but not least, let's take a look at the dock. Never seen the dock in person. The dock is definitely new and improved from the original dock. And I believe they also added vents on the dock for airflow, which they didn't do that on the original. And they also didn't do that on the OLED. So here is the dock. It does feel like it's a little bit heavier compared to the original or the OLED. But like I said, they did do a lot of upgrades with the dock, so it is expected with the Switch 2. So we're going to put this back in the box as well, and that's pretty much all. Oh, wait, I'm looking for the wrist straps, guys. I think I'm missing the wrist straps. 1 second. I think I actually didn't grab the wrist straps. Does the wrist straps not come with the Switch 2? So I'm not seeing it inside the box. I really hope it does. That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right, I think I missed this corner here. I think the wrist straps might be in here. Yeah, I didn't pull up this part, so I'm assuming the wrist straps are in here. Yes, they are. Okay, so I did miss this compartment. You do have your Switch 2 manual right there. And also the HDMI cable is in here as well. So there was a few things that I missed. So here's the high-speed HDMI cable. This is the new ultra high-speed HDMI cable. So the HDMI cable is a lot more stronger and powerful on the Switch 2. So this is an ultra HDMI. I believe on the original Switch, it was just an HDMI or high speed. So this HDMI is definitely a lot more stronger, and it does have the Nintendo branded on it. And now we are going to take a look at the wrist straps. I was wondering, I'm like, does the Switch 2 not come with wrist straps? But it does, because it's right here. So let's take a look at the wrist straps. So these are the blue ones, and these are the red ones. I don't know if I'm going to use these. These are actually for the mouse controls. So you actually put them on the bottom for the mouse controls. So these do look a lot different from the original and the OLED, because now they have this opening now. Because since the Switch 2 doesn't slide, it doesn't have that little thing. Now you just clip it on. So these definitely look a lot different compared to the original Switch. So yeah, they definitely change a lot of things around with the Switch 2. This is Nintendo's next generation console. But yeah, I definitely missed everything that was there. But yeah, we're not going to read the manual. We know exactly how to do a Switch 2. It's not hard. They still include a manual. And then there is the actual tablet inside. So I did miss a few things there, which I kind of knew going into it. All right. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the dock. So the dock says Nintendo Switch 2 in the front. And as you can see, the bottom looks a lot different. The back, it's a little bit thicker in the back. It's more chunkier because now there's air ventilation in the back. I'm not going to open it up, but you guys do understand the idea. It does have the HDMI hookups and things like that. And then on the bottom, it does have your vents on the bottom. I mean, this thing is really, really nice. I mean, this is more of a premium dock that I've ever witnessed before. Because on launch back in 2017, when I unboxed this Switch, the original Switch, it definitely looked a lot different, which I have the original dock. The Switch 2, you could just see that they definitely redesigned the dock and just made it a lot more powerful. So games are going to run a lot more powerful on the Switch 2. So they're obviously going to make a more powerful dock on the Switch 2. So that's exactly what they did there. But I like what they did there. It does say Switch 2 on the dock. So that's a nice touch right there. It does say Switch 2, so that is awesome. And then inside, it does have the glossiness like it did on the Switch OLED. I kind of wish they didn't have the glossy part. I never liked that on the Switch OLED because I felt like over time, it's just going to leave a lot of fingerprints in the middle. But they still kept the same design in the middle with the Switch 2. So this is the Switch 2 dock. Obviously, as you guys could see. So there is the Switch 2 dock in black. So it looks really, really cool. So that is really cool. There's the Switch 2 dock. And now without any further ado, let's take a look at the tablet. Guys, we are going to actually do a little bit of a setup here. We might as well, since this video went 40 minutes. That is pretty much all that's inside the Switch 2. I'm going to actually test out the new Joy-Cons here on the Switch 2 tablet. If you guys want to give me a minute, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check out the new Switch 2 tablet here, and we're going to check it out. But first, I want to check out the grips here for just a second. So the grips are also magnetic. So I do want to actually try that out for just a second. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do the grips on this. We're just going to do the tablet, guys, right away. I'm actually going to mute the music right now. And we are going to check out the magnets for the very first time on the Switch 2. And I have like a little bit of piece of lint on it right there. But anyway, that's not a big deal. So here we go, guys. Let's check it out here. Let's see the new magnetic on the Switch 2. I am super excited to check this out. So the screen is definitely a lot larger, as you could see. It's a 7.9-inch screen, and then the kickstand. I was a little bit worried about the kickstand when I saw it on the Direct because I kind of, well, when they revealed the system back in January, I was a little bit nervous about the stand because I thought it would break since it's thin, but Nintendo was claiming that it's a metal stand, so it will not break. But I was a little bit worried about that when I saw the reveal of it. I thought because since it was so thin and flimsy the way it came out that it would break, but as they're claiming it's metal, so it looks like it will run very good. That it looks like that it will be fine as it is connected on the actual Switch. So here we go. Let's check out the magnetic Joy-Cons. Here we go, guys. This is exactly what I've been waiting for since the reveal of the Switch 2. Here we go. Here we go. Magnetic for the very first time. Oh my God. That is satisfying. Let's try that again. I'm trying to get a little used to it. As you can see, I'm trying to slide it like it's the original Switch. I'm going to have to get used to that over time. I'm like kind of sliding it still, but there it is. There's the magnetic. So we're actually going to show you the home screen of this, and just holding this in my hand right now, this feels really, really good. Just by holding it in my hand. So I'm going to do a little bit of an initial setup, and then I'm going to end this video. We are going to open up Mario Kart World for just a second. So I am going to show you this game in a minute. Unless I might actually just wait until I do the Switch. But I'm actually going to do a little bit of a Switch 2 setup in just a few moments on the tablet. But that's all I am going to show on the Switch 2. This is the Switch 2. And I'm actually going to set this up, so I'm not actually going to do the home screen, but this thing is massive. I mean, look at the screen size on the Switch 2. I mean, this is just really, really massive right now for the Switch 2. It is massive. I mean, this screen is really, really huge. But I do love the dock as well. I also love the dock. I feel like the dock is also great as well. But guys, I mean, this screen is just massive. This is the first time holding the Switch 2, and the screen is just really, really big. I mean, you have so much hand space in the Switch 2, but it is massively big, and I mean, it just really feels good in the hands. I mean, the buttons feel clicky. Everything about this console just feels super, super good. So that is the Switch 2. I'm actually going to do a little bit of a setup, and we're going to try it out in just a few moments. But there it is. I don't want this video to go any longer. That is the Switch 2. But yeah, we're actually going to do a little... We're actually going to boot this up and start it up, just so you guys can get the idea of it. Here we go. It's got your Nintendo logo as expected, and here we go. Let's see the new music. There it is, booting up, the first boot up of the Switch 2. I like the music. Obviously, the original Switch and the OLED did not have this music, so they kind of gave you a nice little... All right, well, that is the official setup of the Switch 2, guys. I'm glad that you enjoyed this video. I'm glad I did the Switch 2. I can't wait to play this tonight, guys. But, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And remember, thank you for watching Spooky Haunts. I'll be back on another video. And remember, always stay spooky with my spooky Switch 2. I'll be playing Mario Kart World all night long, and I cannot wait. Thanks for watching.